G'day friends, welcome to today's YouTube video. My name is James, welcome back to my channel, and welcome if you are new. Was that musical? Did I hit a note? Anyway, no, today we're going to do the WHIMSYWEEN prompt Candy Corn Couture, which is fun because I love fashion. I have a passion for fashion, a la Bratz dolls from the early 2000s. Does anyone remember those? I'm guessing that a lot of people watching actually didn't own Bratz dolls, but I had a few. I will say I had a few. I think I actually had more Bratz dolls than Barbie dolls, to be fair. I loved them so much more because they had a lot more attitude and their hair was a lot easier to play with because they had bigger heads. Anyway, I digress. Oh, you know what I didn't love? Their feet snapped on and off. And so if one of them had, because all their skin colors were different, if one had shoes that I wanted the other one to wear and there was open skin parts of the shoe, I couldn't swap their shoes out because it'd be like giving, I'd be giving the darker skinned girl like the white feet, and I hated that. So anyway, that was the one thing I had an issue with Bratz dolls. Looking back on it, I think their heads are like grotesque, but then I look at my stamp sets and I'm like, is this not loosely based off a Bratz doll? I don't know. Look, I'm not gonna lie. The inspiration probably creeped in there at one point because I played with Bratz dolls for a long time. And when I say play, I used to honestly just dress them up, do their hair, put lots of ribbons in their hair, put lots of clips in their hair, and then I would pose them. I was never one to try and repaint my doll or try and put glitter on it or, you know, like glue things onto it or even make their own clothes. Like sometimes I would make some clothes for them, but I loved the clothes that they came with anyway, and I could always just mix and match. But yeah, what I loved more than anything was doing their hair and then posing them. So it makes total sense to me why I also have such a fascination with fashion photography and fashion illustration, because it's essentially the 2D version of how I used to play as a child. I love to pose the woman in the fashion, you know, visualize the fantasy and then just leave it there. And I like to look at it. My eyes like to see that. It makes me good to see that. Does that make sense? I don't know. Just trying to figure out the what's it called? The philosophy behind why I enjoy drawing fashion illustration. I'm sure it has a lot to do with that. Anyway, so that is wow, all of that to say I had a passion for fashion. That was their tagline, I think. So I have this passion for fashion. Also, I have like an absolute distaste for candy corn. I hate it. I think it's the most disgusting thing I've ever tasted in my life. It is waxy, weirdly chewy, but like not, it's absolutely foul. If you've never had candy corn before, don't even bother, don't waste your time. But it is, and it's really going to trigger some people who love candy corn. I'm ready for it. Attack me in the comments below, sis. Drag me. No, I really hate it. I really think it's disgusting. I don't know what the hype is about it. I can understand why kids might enjoy it, but like, oof. I've only tried it for the first time as an adult because, as you might have heard, Halloween wasn't a huge thing as I was growing up, and it's not really a huge Australian anything, which is funny to me because now that I live in the States, literally my neighbors across the road all have their houses decorated for Halloween. They've got big pumpkins outside. They're having a big Halloween festival down the street with like a parade and everything. So, I mean, I live for that fantasy. I think that's so much fun. But it's all relatively new to me because I do live in an apartment. But this apartment is kind of near actual houses. My last apartments were near other apartments, so I didn't really see any of that. This is the first time I'm kind of seeing it near my home, which makes me excited. Anyway, I digress. But I think that candy corn really represents Halloween. Pardon me. I don't see them sold at any other time of the year, so it's kind of iconic Halloween imagery, and it really fits in with that WHIMSYWEEN theming. You know, it's light, airy, sweet. There's no blood, guts, gore, ooky kooky, spooky. You know, I all that stuff that I hate. Like candy corn falls into a much lighter fare for Halloween. So this is one of those prompts, and candy corn couture because you know what? I love alliteration. If that hasn't been made obvious to you yet, please go back and check some of my other prompts list. It's like the prompt only gets approved if it's alliterated. Wow. My English teacher would be very happy, I'm sure. Anyway, so this is, I was just having a bit of a play. I took the Dior New Look from the 40s, and because there's lots of triangular shapes with the Dior New Look, and with those little bustles, the little, what are they called, little peplum kind of, the bar jacket, and also the big full circle skirts. Those are very triangular shapes. I thought they would lend themselves well to candy corn, since that is a triangular shape as well. And the poses I kind of pulled from the Dior New Look photos that I found on a Google image search. They're loosely referenced, but you know, it's just kind of generic, and I was more just going for color blocking with the white, orange, and yellow. And I wanted to put a little bit of patterning on the watercolor. It was really simple drawing, really simple painting technique. I wasn't trying to reinvent anything here. I was actually just trying to have a good time, and I did, so success in the bush. And clock that reference. Does anyone know where that comes from? I would love for someone to figure out where that comes from. Oh, my mum's trying to call me. I'm going to pause here for a second. I'm going to talk to my mum. Alright, I'm back. I talked to mum. It was pretty good, actually. She reminded me of one thing I needed to say to everyone before I left this voiceover. If you want to attend the concept stamping workshops that I'm having in Australia on the first Saturday of November, please... Is it the first Saturday? I'm not quite sure. Please go and check all the info anyway. My dates are all confused in my head. I think it's the 9th. Is it the 9th or the 8th? I think it's the 9th of November. There are 2 workshops available. Go and check them out on Etsy if you want. It's about an hour and a half north of Sydney. My first international workshops. They're very, very small as it is, but there are still spaces available. Honestly, I'm not fussed either way, whether they fill up or whether it is just a really, really intimate class, because either way, we're going to have an absolute ball. And my mum has said that she's going to be Kris Jenner for the day. She's volunteered as mummager, and she will be helicopter parenting around the venue. By her choice. I actually didn't ask her to do that, and I hope she knows she's not getting paid to do that. But yeah, if you want to know where all this crazy comes from, please come meet my mum. She'll be doing meet and greets from 8 till 6. No, she will be there though. So if you want to come and meet my mum, she'll be there. You know, it's in my hometown of Wyong, so... Goodness. I just admitted that online. No, I've said it before, but still, guys, if you know where Wyong is, like I said, you'll know why I'm laughing. But it is there, so there's a good chance that probably everyone I've ever met since I was 4 years old is going to be there. And yeah, I'm just really excited. So please go and check that out. I just wanted to make sure you knew that, because when I leave early November to go to Australia, I will be pretty much unreachable, and so registration for that class will shut down before I leave, because I won't be able to process any new sign-ups once I'm gone. So check that out if that's something you're interested in. I know I've already spoken to a bunch of people about wanting to attend, but it just not being in the right location, or just timing being a bad thing. So I just want to apologize again for anyone that did inconvenience, that did want to come. I really do my best to make sure that I can be as accommodating as I can within reason. And then the reason comes in, and it's just like, oh, I don't want to say that because I don't want it to sound like I'm making excuses, or I don't want it to sound, you know, even sometimes I don't want it to sound like I'm as small business as I am. Like, sometimes I just don't want to admit that, like, it's still just me, and that all the decisions I make have to make sense, because they could, you know, they could just really affect the lifestyle that my husband and I lead here with the cats. You know, I don't have any financial backing. I don't have a company behind me. No one sends me anywhere. No one pays for my trip. That all comes out of my own personal savings, my own personal savings from my business and from my personal life. So when I do make these decisions, they do kind of have to make a bit of sense. And there's a lot of decision making that goes in there just to make sure that I'm respecting the, you know, the investment that they are. And I have to... you know, especially for this first international workshop, I needed to do it somewhere where I knew I could, I knew the area, I knew what I had access to, I knew that I could set it up well, and that the resources I had available, and even the people that I had to help me there, it would all work out, and it would be as great as an investment as it were anywhere else around the world. So that is the reasoning that I did that, and I would be remiss if I didn't actually kind of explain that at some point, but it is always just kind of an awkward thing to have to say, like, you know, obviously if I could afford to go everywhere, I would go everywhere. I need to make sure that I'm doing the right thing, and then hopefully one day doing the right thing a lot of times will lead to being able to do more things. But that's it from me today. Oh, I hope you like the candy corn couture. I guess we didn't talk about that at all. Anyway, yeah, that's it. Now that I've prematurely wrapped myself up. Can you hear my voice is still kind of there, but not? I have a severe cough right now. All my voiceovers for the next few videos are going to be just iffy. Heads up. Have a good weekend. Bye.